So if you could just start by stating your name and tell me why you decided to run for the school board.
My name is Nicole Sbragia, and I decided to run for the school board after our principal was removed from Belhaven and the superintendent's contract was renewed last spring. Parents and I, we protested and boycotted. We wrote letters, emails, and went to the board meeting and spoke out. We were ignored. It was devastating, and so thereafter, I realized that we needed to make a change in the leadership so that community was heard.
What do you see as the single most pressing issue facing the Ravenswood School District?
There are several, but I would probably say teacher retention and the way teachers are treated.
And what do you mean by that?
So I think we're losing a lot of teachers because of the fear and retaliation that they feel in the district. And so I think that needs to be addressed.
And if you're elected, what specific steps would you take to address that?
I think by having a new leadership, a new board, and then within time, a new superintendent, I think that we're going to be able to address that.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any specific proposals for teacher retention, or you just think new leadership would go a long way in terms of improving the culture?
I think the new leadership, I also think that we need to have affordable housing for teachers. We need to look at the budget to see where we can give raises. We need to look into more affordable health care, particularly for dependents. I think, and as far as the retaliation in the district, we just need to make sure that they're heard and that if they have a challenge or if they've been mistreated, that we address that.
For affordable housing, how do you see, what role could Ravenswood take in addressing affordable housing?
I think we need to work with the community primarily for that. So that might be something we work with city council, but we need to work with the community to try to figure that out.
Of actions you've seen this school board take over the last 2 or so years, what decision do you have the strongest disagreement with? And can you critique that decision and explain what you would have done differently if you had been on the board?
First would be the renewal of the contract. So we would have just hopefully not voted that way. And the reason why that's such an issue is because under the current superintendent, we've had a fiscal crisis resulting in layoffs and the closure of CDC. We've had teachers leave the district because they're mistreated. We've had several challenges under the current leadership. So that's one, and another would be the budget cuts. I think we're laying off paraeducators, yard duty, custodians, cafeteria workers, people that our kids really depend on every day.
What would you have cut instead, or what would you look to cut instead of those positions?
District leadership positions, PR firms, lawyers, consultants.
Okay. Are those cuts that you would advocate for if you're elected? And you've referenced this sense of distrust in the community and teachers and parents of the district office and of the school board itself. If you're elected, what would you do to rebuild that trust and sort of bring people on opposing sides of that together?
I think we need to listen to all stakeholders, parents, community, teachers. Everyone needs to have a say in what's happening with our children. And I think, and then not just listen, but actively work with the community to put some of their ideas into place. So it's just we need to work together. Yeah.
And when you say we need to listen more, I think the current school board might say we have public meetings, we heard all the community comment out, we allow for public comment, but there is this sense of not being heard in the community. I'm wondering, despite the public meetings and public forums, so where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from the district, and I think that the current board is listening more heavily to what the superintendent and what the school district is saying, as opposed to what the community is saying.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like the voters to know about your candidacy or your background? No, just that I'm part of the community. I have kids in the district. I'm very passionate about our kids at East Palo Alto. I work at a charter in East Palo Alto, working as a paraeducator, working with special education kids. And I'm just very passionate about the community and
and about our kids and our teachers and being heard and working together so everyone can have a say.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.